Hi guys, Paul here. Today I thought I would go ahead and do a video, I had promised that I would do a video with the Mystic Waters soap. I have been using the Mystic Waters Prospect Creek soap now for the last month or so, and I finished off my first tub that was sent to me by Jeff Anderson. I have another tub. The first tub was the original formula. This new tub is the new formula, which has a higher menthol content. And as I've been using that soap over the last month or so, I've tried different lathering techniques. When I first got some samples of the soap, I had some trouble lathering it. It would actually form a fairly nice lather, or what looked like a nice lather on my face, but then as time went on, the lather would start to break down for the successive passes. And so after that, I started just basically taking a brush that I'd been soaking, give it a light shake, and with all the water in the brush, just go ahead and I was just swirling and creating lather right on the puck and lathering that up to my face, and that worked pretty good. But when I put the brush in my scuttle, I noticed that the lather in the brush seemed to start to kind of dissipate, and I had to rebuild it on my face for the next, for the second, third, and fourth passes. What I found out is that, or at least what I suspect, is that because the brush was still very wet, the water from the breach of the knot was draining down and causing the lather to break down. And what I found out with this soap is that it does not seem to like to be overhydrated, and if it does get overhydrated, it becomes real bubbly, and the lather is not very stable. So for probably about the last week and a half, I've been soaking my brush while I shave, soaking the puck at the same time, and then taking the brush out of the water, giving it a shake and a couple of squeezes to get the excess water out of the breach of the brush, and then I go ahead and start swirling the brush on the puck, loading it for about 30 seconds, and then go ahead and start building the lather on my face with a little bit drier brush, and then I would add water as needed, drop by drop, and this seemed to be creating a better lather. So this is a new puck. I did use this yesterday for my shave. My lather was so-so, and I don't know if with continued use the soap was getting more and more hydrated, because about the last third of that last puck it worked just fine, and at the beginning it was a little temperamental, so I don't know if it's just the more you use it, it becomes hydrated. It does have bentonite clay in it, and I don't know if that somehow gets hydrated and makes the lather better as time goes on. So we'll see how this goes today. No promises. The one thing I would say about this soap is that even though from the very beginning I never have had a bad shave with the soap, even though the lather might have looked kind of thin and to me, and it did look rich and creamy and luscious, it still is very slick and performed great, and my face has always felt great after the shave. So anyways, we'll see. Hopefully this will work. For the last week it worked as I was finishing off the last puck, but we'll see with this new puck what happens. So my brush is soaking in my scuttle here, and I'm going to be using the Shavemac Americana that was designed by Jeff Anderson and Byrne from Shavemac, and this one is a Finest Badger knot. The original 10 were all Finest Badger, and I'm a big fan of their DO1 silver tip knots, but I do like this knot. It's not quite as dense as the DO1, but it's still pretty soft, and or it still has decent backbone, and it's real soft. So there's my soap. I did have water on the soap, and I'm just dumping that off, and I'm going to go ahead and start. Oops, let me just so there's my brush. I'm just going to go ahead and shake it out, and then I'm going to give it a squeeze, and another little squeeze, and another little squeeze. Now I'm just going to dip the tips in the water a little bit, and I'm just going to go ahead and start creating a lather on the puck like this. And when it starts out, it's real bubbly. but as you load it, it does start to build up on there and starts to thicken up pretty nicely. So I'm going to give it a good 30-second load or so. This soap really smells good. It's a kind of a peppermint smell. I think I've said that before in my other video when I used it. Peppermint and menthol, and it really smells good. So there you go. That looks pretty good. I think we'll go ahead and start with that. And I just, you know, as I'm building it, I'll just take the lather and just put it back on the puck and just keep working it. So I just set that aside in case I need to reload the puck. And we'll go ahead and start. And as I said, this version has a higher menthol content than the old version, and so it's a little bit more chilly than the old version, which I kind of like. And after talking to Michelle from Mystic Waters, I had commented that this peppermint smells really nice and fresh, and she had informed me this was a really good quality peppermint oil, and I can vouch for that. The scent of this is just really heavenly. If you like peppermint, this is going to be right up your alley. So once the lather kind of builds, and so a lot of times when I do that on the puck, the lather will actually be good enough. I don't have to add much water to it, and I don't think I'm going to add any water to it today. And we'll see how this goes, see if it holds up. The other thing I found is that this soap does not like heat. It seems like when I put that in my brush scuttle to keep the brush warm, it seemed to cause the lather to break down. So it doesn't like heat, and it doesn't like to be overhydrated. So today I'm going to be using a razor that I just recently got, and that is the Gillette Senator. It's a twist open comb razor. Handle looks a lot like a Super Speed, so I guess it looks kind of like a open comb Super Speed. And that is the brother or sister to the Sheraton, which is the gold version. And that's my Sheraton. This razor is in pretty good shape, still pretty shiny. My Sheraton is not in as good a shape. It's got some plate wear and not as shiny, but it shaves great. It's a great user grade razor, and I'm happy with it. So I'm anxious to give this one a try. I've loaded that with a feather, and I've prepared my face with some Proraso, and I've just gotten out of the shower. So we're going to go ahead and give this a go. So one thing I noticed about these open comb twist open razors from Gillette is that they do have a pretty good audible feedback. I don't know if it comes across the microphone on the iPad very well or not, but you can really hear the razor shearing off the whiskers. So the first pass of the lather was pretty good. We'll see how this holds up over the next two passes. What I'll usually do then is once I've got the lather built up on the brush, I'll just go ahead for the next few passes and just pretty much just paint the lather on. Just a nice coating. It doesn't have to be super duper thick. Because again, this stuff is just really slick, and you don't need a really dense, thick coating, especially after you get your first pass done. But there it is. It looks pretty good. nice and smooth. So we'll go ahead and go across the grain now. Okay, we'll rinse. And pass number 3. I really like the way these Gillette open comb razors feel. They seem to give a really nice shave. They've got a nice aggressiveness to them. Now we'll go ahead and just finish up around my neck. Just kind of touch up here a little bit. And I think we're going to call that good. So we'll see what we have left over in the brush. a little bit. It's kind of running. So here we go on. I think pretty decent lather with the Mystic Waters today. Again, very slick and nice menthol kick. Maybe not as creamy and dense as some of the other soaps out there, but overall I've been pretty pleased with it, and I would probably buy it again, and I would continue to use it. I have 2 more pucks to use. I have this puck of the Prospect Creek, which I really like. I like that menthol kick that it has. And I also have the Marrakesh, which really smells great. Very spicy. And I'm not sure all the different kinds of things she has in there, but it smells great. I love it. It's very manly kind of scent. So today for my aftershave, I'm going to be using the Clubman Special Reserve, and I'm going to use a little 444 gel with that. So I think this Clubman Special Reserve smells more musky and more, it has more of a wood scent to it than the regular Clubman. It reminds me a lot of the L'Occitane Vetiver aftershave or EDT. And I don't know if this has vetiver in it or what, but it has that kind of dark, musky sort of smell to it, and I really like it. And actually, it seems to pair really well with the L'Occitane Vetiver EDT. So, anyways, guys, that's the shave of the day. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.